Hey buddy, welcome back. This video is for you if you feel like you're doing all the right things, the meditation, the breathwork, the introspection, but somehow you still feel tired. Hi, my name is David William Pearce, for those who haven't met me yet. I'm an alignment specialist and Tantric Conversational Hypnotherapist, and today, Miko and I want to talk about something subtle, something sacred, and something I think many of us quietly long for. The end of overstimulation, the end of spiritual striving and return to the inner quiet. If you're tired of trying, tired of seeking, tired of working on yourself, yet feeling no closer to peace, if that's you, then stay with me for this video, because the teachings we're going to be exploring today are turiya, the fourth state. And for me, something shifted in my life quite profoundly the first time I learnt about it, and still years later is continuing to have an impact on me. And it might just shift something for you too. But before we get into the tantric teachings, I want to share a little from my life. Entrepreneurialism has been a spiritual journey in and of itself for me. It's not something I was conditioned or educated for. I was brought up for a very standard life. Do well at school, go to university, get the city job, buy the home. All that was missing from my matrix bingo card was wife and kids. I'd pretty much done it all. And that's really because relationships were challenging for me. That's why that was missing. I've been through several relationships where there was so much love, but then the navigation of complexity of one infinitely complex human trying to harmonize with another infinitely complex human. No one teaches us these relationship skills. And it's the same with entrepreneurialism. It's just jump in and sink or swim. And it's easy to feel like we're drowning, especially if you're unaware of the nature of reality and the human experience, the intricacies of that. And it's how I ended up with business burnout as well as emotional burnout in several relationships. And this is where TCH and aligned yoga has been a significant support for me. In Non-Dual Śaiva Tantra, there are technically 5 states of consciousness, but we'll get to that one next week. Waking, dreaming, deep sleep, and turiya is the 4th. It's literally, that's what it means, the 4th. Turiya isn't a trance. It's not bliss you have to achieve. It's not a special meditative experience for monks. Turiya is the quiet that holds you even when you're overwhelmed. It's that awareness beneath every thought, the stillness behind every moment. You've likely tasted it in the pause between breaths, in the moment before you react, in that split second where you remember who you are. The problem isn't that you don't know turiya. The problem is that life pulls you away from it, as it does for so many of us. So later in this video, I'm going to share a story that's been synthesized to support in just that. It's called Prem and the Voice Between Worlds. And it's about the exact moment where overstimulation dissolves into stillness. So stay with me until the end for that. But for now, let's understand the teachings beneath it. Because most of us live in the first 3 states: waking, constantly doing, dreaming, thinking, imagining, projecting, and deep sleep, escaping, shutting down, numbing. And because of that, we can start to believe spiritual peace is something that we earn through discipline, rigor, and effort. But Tantra says something radically different. You don't reach turiya. It's not a destination. The truth is you stop abandoning it. Turiya is not effort, it's recognition. Turiya is not effort, it's recognition. The Spandakarika says, when consciousness is inwardly turned, even in the midst of activity, the yogi sees only the self. Not outside life, not avoiding life, but within it. This is sovereignty. Svāmitvam, the ability to rest without withdrawing. So what pulls us away? Why does life become so challenging? Why do we endure so much suffering? It's because of things like overthinking, over-efforting, over-identifying with every sensation and emotion. And the deepest one, the belief that peace is conditional. That once I fix this, once I understand that, once I heal enough, once I'm better, then everything will be okay. But true stillness doesn't arrive when you're perfect. It arrives when you stop fighting yourself. Which brings us to something that changed my life. Turiya is a state in which one accesses the level of deep sleep while completely awake and aware. It is the state of total subjectivity, with the senses quietened, the usual objects of awareness, including thoughts, absent, and even the subliminal impressions of the subconscious mind temporarily suspended. I've accessed this state personally through medicine, through breathwork, through meditation. You may have heard of the term Samadhi. It literally means absorption, where the mind has become absorbed one-pointedly on a single object of awareness. In yoga, this is often achieved, for example, by focusing on a candle, on a flame, on the breath, on a yoga pose, until the mind becomes merged with the object of meditation and dissolves. In this state, the object alone shines forth, suffused with consciousness, free of any associations, interpretations, or cognitions. The value of practicing this in meditation has been, for me, to be able to access calm not through effort, but through softening. This has really helped me with sleep. Falling asleep is one of those things where the harder you try to do it, the further away it gets. And I'm sure you can think of other aspects of your life where that also feels true. One skilled in this technique of accessing this state of consciousness, turiya, eventually it becomes possible to attain it without an object of meditation. Now, how does Tantric Conversational Hypnotherapy support with this? Think of it this way. Turiya, that state of consciousness, is always there. It's just a lot of the time we can't access it when the mind is knotted. Fear, self-doubt, old emotional loops, subconscious beliefs that say, I have to hold everything together. I'm not allowed to rest. I'll stop when I get there. Because if I stop, I'll fall apart. TCH works by dissolving these knots, not with force, not with logic, but by entering a state where the subconscious becomes receptive to truth. Not my truth, your truth. In a session, your system begins to reorganize itself. I often say that it's not about me putting my fish in your pond, it's helping you clear your water. And in doing so, the noise softens, the inner grip loosens, the nervous system exhales, and suddenly turiya, the fourth state of consciousness, becomes available again. Not through trying, but through remembering. So, an invitation to just take a few moments to absorb this story about Prem and the voice between worlds. It's been designed to support with feelings of struggle with overstimulation or on a journey of spiritual seeking. The mantra is struggling with that. Turīya-svāmitvam. Fourth state sovereignty. Still working on my Sanskrit. For more on Sanskrit, God, every time. Okay, I think it's this corner. For more on Sanskrit, go here. Okay, so once Prem entered a marketplace of voices. Each stall shouted its way to truth. By this practice, one cried. Follow this light, urged another. Prem wondered, overwhelmed, caught between the glittering and the sincere, until something quieter brushed his awareness. Not a voice, not a tug, just space. She followed it. It led them to a narrow path behind the market where the noise softened. He sat. Nothing special, just stillness. And from that stillness, something remarkable, a gentle awareness, not of anything, but as everything. A sense of watching without judging, moving without grasping, not outside life, but not caught in it either. A voice barely audible whispered, "You are this." And Prem didn't need to buy, follow, or do. She simply remembered. Turīya-svāmitvam, fourth state sovereignty. Fourth state sovereignty. This story is all of us. The marketplace is the modern world. Advice, noise, comparison, options, all shouting, do more, heal faster, become better. Maybe you've witnessed this. I know that I have. The moment we step into silence, it is an escape. It's a reunion. The stillness for Prem wasn't outside the marketplace. It was underneath the noise the entire time. And that, my friends, is turiya, the fourth state of consciousness, the quiet that holds you even when the world gets loud. So right now, just for a breath, an invitation to let your shoulders drop, to let your jaw soften, to feel the exhale, and to quietly repeat Turīya-svāmitvam. Turīya-svāmitvam. Fourth state sovereignty. Notice what shifts, even slightly. This is how we return. If this teaching stirred something in you, if you're craving quiet or clarity or simply a place to land, here's where you can go deeper. You can book a clarity call, a gentle space to explore whether Tantric Conversational Hypnotherapy is the right path for what you're navigating. Or you can join the Aligned Living Collective, where I share weekly reflections, mantras, and integration tools and tips to help live these teachings, not just learn them. Or Aligned Yoga, a practice-led movement and breath designed for people who want presence, strength, and spiritual embodiment woven together. Each morning I do my own self-practice, and you can join in with that live on here. You can join the collective and get the Zoom link to dial in. You get the music that accompanies the practice as well. And we get to have a little discussion after and explore some of the ideas, the teachings, and the mantra. All the links for this are in the description. And I'll leave you with this. What if the stillness you're looking for is already listening to you? May turiya find you in the small moments. May your striving soften. May your sovereignty return to your body. Wishing you a beautiful day ahead, whatever time it is for you. And remember, the divine is not above you. It's within you. You are the dreamer awakening within the dream. Hridaya Prema. Cheers.